Hello, in this overview I just want to show you how you can add a teacher to your group. When a teacher is added to one of your groups, they share your students, and it's also worth noting that if they leave the group they carry on sharing those students because they might be doing other things with in other groups with them. So that's just worth bearing in mind. So this is a fake account on my local machine, there's nothing real in here, so this is just for demonstrating. So first thing we want to do if you want to add a teacher to one of your groups, so the idea of adding a teacher, by the way, to one of your groups is that they can see the analytics and they can set question collections to them, to the students in those groups and all those sorts of things as well. It also means that you can share your question collections with them, and that I'll show you. If I remember, I'll show you that at the end as well. So let's get cracking with this. So the first thing you need to do is go to Manage Groups. Everything that you do with managing your groups, surprisingly, is in Manage Groups. And in here you've got a drop down of the list of your existing groups, and you've also got the ability to join a group or create a group. So in another tutorial we went through creating a group and adding students to that group. This is the adding the teachers to that group section. So I've already got a group in here called Testing Group Things. What a great name, eh? Not very realistic. But anyway, there we go. It is a group with myself, Mr. Lapsley, as one of the teachers, and also a student called Rocket Boy, which is just the best name in the world. Love it. So you'll notice that by default that the teacher's group code is locked and the students is not locked. Of course, I would always recommend that you lock the student group once you've group code once you've added all your students. Locking the group code or locking the group, should I say, you can lock for teachers and for students separately, and the idea of this is that if somebody turns up with the group code, they can't just redeem it and join the group. So this will prevent future people from joining the group unless you unlock it again. It's a level of security that I strongly recommend you use, so that's just good to know. The other thing I would say is please do not share any of these codes publicly on Twitter or anything like that. These are absolutely not to be shared in the public domain. So the student group code, as I say, that's covered in a different tutorial. What you should really do once you've got your group set up and everything is you should lock your student group so that no more students can join it. So that's now locked, and that means that no more students can redeem that group code. But you'll notice also that the teachers group code is locked at this point. We need to unlock that if we want to get other teachers in to the group, but then remember again to lock it once they have joined. So unlock this, and there we go, and click on that. So now the teacher group code is unlocked, or the group is unlocked to teachers joining with the group code. So they click on teacher group code, you click on teacher group code, and it gives you a bit of information. It says just the things I've just said there. Don't share this publicly. Please do not share this group code publicly. And it also says do not share this with your students. So it's worth noting that you shouldn't be doing this on an interactive whiteboard or anything, because if the students get hold of this, they of course could redeem the code in exactly the same way as a teacher could. So please do not share this with your students either. And then if you click on reveal teacher group code, it gives you the code. I'm just going to copy this to my clipboard, but obviously you would be handing this out to the other teacher. I'd suggest again that you don't email this to them. That's an insecure medium, so maybe you should hand it to them on a piece of paper and then they tear it up when they've used it or something. But just be very careful with this code. Okay, so that's, I'll call this teacher who's logged in here teacher, no, not teacher one. I'll call this the main teacher. Okay, and then I'm going to log out and I'm going to log in with another account that I've got called teacher one. So I didn't want to call the first one teacher one. So now I'm logged in as a second teacher. Okay, so the main teacher has got a group, and I've logged in as a second teacher. And now I am going to go as the second teacher to my Manage Group section, and you'll notice that I don't currently have the group that we're talking about just in that list now, but I do have the option to join a group. So I can click on join a group and I can enter that code which I had just now, and I can click on continue. And when I do that, yeah, just ignore this. This is an error which I've got to sort out. It's just translation error, but that's basically saying welcome to the group you've joined. And here now we have the list of the group again, and in it are teacher one, that's the second teacher that I've just logged in as now, and the original main teacher, which is Mr. Lapsley. So So we're both in there now, and you'll see that I've got access now to Rocket Boy, and if I go to all students, Rocket Boy will be in there. There he is at the top there. Okay, so so I've now joined the group, which is, that's that. Let's just go back into that original account now, just to see what we see in there now that I've joined. And here we are back in the original main teacher account, and I can see that teacher 1 is indeed in that account. Now I should lock my group again, so I'm going to go to group settings again, and I'm going to lock to prevent further teachers joining. You'll also notice now that this new drop down's appeared. This is because a group can have an owner. So the creator of that group is the owner to start with by default, but you can exchange the ownership to somebody different within that another teacher within that group if more than one teacher exists in there. So let's say, for example, you've been teaching a group all year, but you would like to hand ownership of that group over to somebody else because they're moving up a year group, or maybe you're leaving the school or whatever. You could change the group owner in there by doing that, and that would give the teacher that you assign group ownership to would have special powers within this group to do stuff, so deleting other teachers and things like that in there. Anyway, I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm going to click on save, and now you'll see, because I locked it in that dialog, I've now got locked. Unlock this group as an option if you want to add more teachers to it. So now my group is all my students I want in there, all my teachers I want in there. It's all locked, everything's good, and we can be happy. Hopefully that's good, and thanks very much.